So again, right now it's time for you to ask any questions, anything that was unclear. For those that have, of course, watched the first two bootcamps and participated as well. And yeah, let's kick start it. I'm already recording. Yeah, the second webinar helped me understand so much. Exactly, yes. The entry webinar was really nice in order to make everything more systematic. So yeah, differentiating between type 1 and type 2 entries. And still, we're going to go deeper into that as well to even further refine and further introduce new things. So
even if you have some comments about the first and second webinar, just what was good for you, what did you actually learn new? Yes, and I think that is just sharing what you've learned and what stood out for you is a great way for other people to learn as well, and to see, okay, I didn't look at it that way, and you mentioning it like this just makes more sense as well. So we are here to learn from each other and help each other learn. So please feel free if you have anything to share, any good experiences, bad experiences, what's difficult, and what should we do better. Yeah, feel free to share it as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it is an open mic evening tonight.
Yeah, so come on, guys, unmute yourselves. Let's speak.
And the longer you wait, the more editing to cut this video to when we actually start speaking.
Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, bro. What's up?
So in the last webinar, the last bootcamp, I think the thing that like really stood out for me was, I'm pretty sure this is correct. It worked last week when I did it. But so like on the 1 hour, so you can have, there's like two different setups that I've been kind of watching, is the structure break on the 1 hour and then the retest of the order block for the continuation down. And then it's the same thing on the 4 hour, except you just have to wait a little longer for the shift to happen when it gets in that order block, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So I noticed that. So that's what I took from the last webinar. That was really.
No, exactly. And as we spoke, we keep telling you guys that the market is fractal. So whatever you see on the weekly, on the daily, on the 4 hourly, it's going to repeat on the 15, on the 5, and on the 3 minute. So those patterns that you saw on bootcamp 2, they are repeated on every single time frame. So the break of structure, the return to the OB, this is the 4 hourly. If I go to the hourly as well, you're going to see it somewhere here. Yeah, it's not exactly this setup, but it's all the same. You can use this on the 4 hourly. And then actually when you see this setup happen on the 4 hourly time frame, then you drop on the 15 minute and you look for the same thing to happen. Here is your break right there to the downside. Here is your retest at the OB, and here is your short. So this happens across every time frame. If you drop to the 1 minute, you're going to find it somewhere on the 1 minute as well. Here is your break. Here is your pullback. Not really tapped into this OB, but it's all the same. Every time frame is the same. So you just have to kind of ingrain that pattern into your mind. Like, how does it look? How does it break structure? And of course, I think it's pretty important for all of you to kind of work within the time frames, because sometimes, like looking on the daily, you can see, for example, something else. And again, the VET breaks down every single day the daily ranges as well. So again, for example, if this is your high and this is your low, let me admit, Stefan, if this is your high and this is your low, then you're trading within that range, and we're looking for shorts from the daily time frame. However, if the 4 hourly has broken structure right there, and then you potentially can start looking for longs, and that is fine. But you always, and this is why it's important to focus on just like 3 to maximum 5 pairs, because if you focus on more than 10, you cannot memorize all of those things. But for example, if you ask me right now, where is EU? Like I can immediately tell you where is it on the daily, how does it look like on the 4 hourly, and what I can potentially expect, right? So you really have to get to know the pair. But yeah, we're going to do more of those in the webinars. We're going to do practice sessions as well. Let me actually see. There are some questions. Ahmed, for type 1 entry, why is it considered manipulation if it is mostly continuation trades? Yeah. Yeah, do you want to answer, bro?
Yes, I can just give my answer would be it's manipulation, because it's an impulsive move at a session opening, mostly in the opposite direction. So this impulsive move in the opposite direction is what usually creates the high low or lower high, and it also is what grabs liquidity, or how we how the banks and the big boys grab the liquidity to go higher. And it's a different way to trap breakout traders to go short or long, and break and retest traders to, they see the breakout, they wait for a pullback, price does pullback, tags them in, but then runs through the stop loss and goes in our direction. So as Ilya illustrates now, those are the different ways that people do get stopped out, and that's why we refer to it as manipulation, because it's price moving aggressively in the opposite direction or taking out structure, the patterns that we look at, and then going into the opposite direction.
Exactly. Yes. And so type 1, again, it's more like a continuation of a trending market. So again, if you have to rewatch it again, because type 1, again, as we said, it's more like for a trending market. So imagine this is your, let's say, 1 hourly or 15-minute. It is already trending up, and you look for continuations. But again, you're always going to have a manipulation, like, for example, in London. And that manipulation, as the vet said, is going to create the low of the day, and then you're going to pump up. But again, the other difference is that this is continuation. But if you look for type 2 refers more to reversal. Not really reversal, but potentially you can expect the market to reverse from a level. And let's say you have this 4-hourly OB, and the market is trading within it, and then it taps. And from here, you actually expect a reversal. But in order to take that reversal again, you have to wait for the market to break structure, to retest, maybe to break again, to retest again, and maybe then you can enter. And you're going to have multiple opportunities. Here is your aggressive entry. Here is your first entry right there. And here is your second entry right here. And this is basically, you wait for the market to tap inside the hard time from OB, and you have to give it more time. So type 2 setup takes a lot more time. And it's usually focused on order blocks, for example, on the 4-hourly, and maybe even sometimes on the hourly. But most of the time, it's going to be 4 hours because it's a major structural area. While this could be an intraday 1-hourly order block, and it could even be a 15-minute. So every single day, the vet is showing you. So for example, we're having a trading agent session. We have little bits of equal lows or equal highs. I would expect the market to manipulate into this 50-minute OB during London, and then to potentially continue with the overall trend. And where is our target? Maybe exactly at this 4-hourly order block. And then from there, you can start looking for type 2. And this is how you actually flow with the market. You know what to expect. You know, with your knowledge right now of order blocks, you know where the market is potentially traveling to. So for example, if you took that long from here, then you know that potentially the market is going to reach for this one. So you keep holding, and you know, like, your expectations, and like if you have something on the 50-minute right now, this consolidation, and the market decides to spike to the downside like this and reverse, then this is your type 1. But again, if you look for a reversal around this area, then you have to spend more time. Like, have a look. If the market taps into this OB, like taps, even showed us a little bit of a reversal right there, then came again, manipulation. This is the actual manipulation right there, that big spike, and then we created the move. And actually right now, I am kind of trying to figure out where EU could go. This is why I'm going to let Monday, of course, develop. But yeah, let's not get carried away. So Ahmed, does that answer your question? Why do we consider manipulation within the continuation trade? What stood out for me was the dropping down to the lower time frame. I was able to find the OBs. Yes, thanks. Okay, great. Omar is entering. What stood out for me was the dropping down to the lower time frame. I was able to find the OB in hard time frame, but didn't understand how to get a proper entry with structure break and retest. Exactly, yes. So Bootcamp 2 was on fire for you, and I really hope you can do it right now. Can you show an example how to spot the fractals? Yes, of course. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit too hard to find it right now, but I'm gonna do my best. Type 2 possibly occurring on EU currently, correct? Do you think for a reversal to the downside, Darius? Type 2 entry, have you found more take profit results with aggressive entry? Yeah, we're gonna speak more about take profits as we go along. Me and Devet are gonna work on a management criteria. So how do you hold your trades? Where do you take profit? First TP, second TP. And especially with some of the aggressive trades, you should be taking profits a little bit earlier, because you never know, like, if the market creates the low of the day, for how long it's going to continue. And most of the times it's going to be at Asia high or low, your take profit. But sometimes it doesn't make sense, because Asia high or low could be just 2R, and you won't be satisfied with 2R. So yeah. Yeah, okay, fractals. So let me see. What's this one actually? Let me try to see with this one. So again, you can see on AU, pretty simple example. Yeah, of course, bro. Darius, come forward, bro. What do you want to say?
Oh, you can explain the fractals first.
All right. Let me try to see if I'm gonna see an example here. So on AU, again, you can see this is an OB right there. Why is it an order block? Because it broke structure to the upside. There is a lot of imbalance. Nice indecision candle, the last sell before the big buy. So again, can you say that this is a type 1 setup? Well, yes, you can. Okay, because the market retested, and then what it did from here, it created a new high. And this is the 4-hourly time frame. So when the market actually taps inside this OB, okay, you can drop to the hourly time frame, maybe even the 15-minute, and you're gonna have that same pattern within the lower time frame. So what you have right there on the 1 hourly time frame, you have a push, pullback, push, and what the market does right there, it created those little equal lows. So you know that the market is potentially gonna manipulate below and tap you inside the OB. Where is your OB? The last sell before the big buy. So we, from the 4-hourly, we drop to the hourly and we see the same thing. And what we can do right there, we can actually take this candle. Why? Because this is the candle that actually got engulfed. This is when the real momentum kicked in. And as you can see, we tapped inside. So actually this tap inside on the hourly time frame, we can translate then on the 50 minutes. And we're gonna see almost the same formation. So let me see what we have right there. Yeah, so the market hasn't really clearly broken structure. So potentially right now we can look for entries. What you can do is you can wait for the same thing, the market to create an order block right here, and then to potentially start pulling back to create an equal low like this, tap you in, and then go. What you can do, of course, as well, you can drop to the 3 minutes and maybe look for something right here. First of all, we need a break of structure. Let's see if we have a clear break of structure right there. Okay, here we go. This is your break of structure. So right now, you can potentially look for an OB. Let me see. Maybe I'm going to take this one because this is when the real momentum kicked in. And the potential right now, we can look for a little bit of an equal low before taking a trade. Let's see if it happens or if we're going to tap. All right, it just went. So after it actually goes, then you can drop to the 50 minutes and you can wait for the same. So here is your newly created OB right here. And then we have to wait for the market to actually return to this area, which I'm not sure if it actually will return because it just skyrocketed. Okay, so we missed that one. But maybe if we drop to the 1 minute, let me drop the 1 minute. I don't like the 1 minute too much, but maybe we're going to have an entry there. Let's see. Yes, so what you can see on the 1 minute again, if you really zoom in, so you have the market tap inside that hourly OB. And then did we have a break of structure? Well, not really. This is not a clear break of structure because it didn't close with a candle close above. But then we created this OB, which is valid. Why is this valid? Because it is nice impulsive move to the upside. It left imbalance as well, but we still haven't broken structure, right? But then what you can see is the market broke structure right here. So this actually confirms this OB because this is where the move was initiated. Was it fulfilled 50%? Not really. So what I always do is I grab the Gann box, and I'm gonna do like this, 50%, and then potentially we can enter from the 50% of this OB, which kind of get missed by a pipette. And again, what does the market do? In between that, it creates liquidity. Liquidity right here, liquidity below, you have that break, the market pulls back. Again, people shorting right there, people going long on this double bottom right there, the market taps, and then it goes. So you can see from the 4-hourly time frame, we went to the 1 minute, and we're spotting all those same setups. Is that clear, Zubair? It's not the greatest example, but it was the first one that I grabbed. So really hope that was clear. And maybe you can do that again. This is how we're actually going to explain the backtesting sessions, how you can do them and how you can examine how those moves happen. Okay, that's clear. So Darius, you want to say something, bro?
Yeah, can you go to EU?
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Can you go to the 1 hour?
Mm-hmm.
So would you say it broke the structure on the 1 hour already?
Which one? This one?
No, more above.
This here?
To the right.
Can you?
Yeah,
Okay,
right
so,
there. Yeah,
okay, so you're looking for shorts right there.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oops, it is showing something. Yes. So it kind of broke. Yes, but again, keep in mind the timing again. So I'm not trusting this break too much on a Friday, because what we could have on Monday is the market to run into the highs into this OB right there, and then you're gonna say that you have a break above this structure, and then we can potentially reverse. But yes, you can, of course, if this was a normal trading day, you have the market break below, and you can potentially even drop a little OB right there. It's not pretty valid, but again, as the vet shows you, like have a look where the overall pressure is going. So like it's pushing up, strong momentum to the upside. You have your OBs right there. Yeah, you have two OBs to consider right here. And what the market can actually do is it can tap your inside right there and reverse. But again, I see what you see, because again, we broke structure. You have your OB right there. So you can potentially enter a short from here. And maybe then what you can do, if the market actually develops like this, make sure to account for that wick also. Then you can target those OBs right there to the bottom. So I would personally take this little imbalance right here as a target, and I'm going to take my profits there, and then maybe potentially take it long. So again, with this strategy, you have to really be flowing with the market and to really expect and to be flexible a little bit, because a lot of things can happen right there.
Bro, just quickly go to the 5 minutes. And so it's also quite interesting how, just another example of fractals, how it happens and how we can identify it. So again, we had the structure break, and then followed by the structure break, we had the return to that OB over there.
Exactly.
So exactly the same thing. We started creating lower highs, another indication that price is failing to go higher. And then we saw this intense break of structure towards the downside. And then we just have to note where is the most recent strong OB, and we have it up there. And that is then how we have equal highs as well. Very well. So this was a nice setup for a Friday. Well, for any day. It's just, I didn't like the time, so I wouldn't have taken it. But any other day, seeing something like this is typically what I like seeing. So you'll see a lot of my trades that I share, I like to see the stepping down price, creating that failing to make higher highs, and then followed by the break in structure, and also the equal highs, as Ila showed, that is golden. And then we see the return to that OB, and it's a very nice setup. So this is definitely something that I would take, timing not wise, but just to the same point where Ila showed us, because we have to flow with the market and keeping in mind the higher time frame momentum and where we are heading from a premium to discounts point of view on the daily and 4 hour, and then continuing with that trend. I see Jack asks if this would be aggressive. I would say no, it's not aggressive for me. If you entered up here, for some reason, that would be aggressive for me personally. Ila we have different views on aggressive trading sometimes, but for me, this would be a confirmation entry.
Yeah. No, this is definitely confirmation. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you had the break of structure, you have the equal highs right there, so you went. And if you even want to take it a step further, again, fractals, once the market taps inside an area for a type 1 entry or something like this, you can even drop to the 1 minutes. And then you can search for an entry on the 1 minute. So personally, if I wanted to take a conservative entry within that zone right there, I would have looked at this level. And potentially just looking at it right now, I can see that this was the actual one that got tapped and this one was missed. So if I set my order here, I would have been missed. And then again, it looked like equal highs. So if I was looking at the market like this, for example, and I was like thinking, okay, should I enter a short right now? Then I'm going to think, okay, but yeah, have a look. They're not really equal, but they kind of look equal. And we have that imbalance a little bit on top. So I would be like, okay, I'm going to wait for this and not set it here. Or again, you can as well experiment. You can set it from here, but keep a slightly bigger stop loss. For example, 4 pips. That's also fine. But from here, you're going to have it. Yeah, this is extreme. Okay.
Ooh, wow, 4 pips. That's so large.
Yes. And again, one other thing to touch on as well, how the vet said, follow right there how the market starts to create lower highs. And again, even if you drop again to the lower time frames, what we spoke in one of the webinars, I think it was on the first one, that you should follow mitigations, right? What is a mitigation? It's simply a tap of an OB and a respect of it. This means that the order flow is becoming bearish. And maybe if you drop to the 3-minute right here, what we're gonna see, yeah, the structure is not entirely clear. Yeah, push to the upside right there. So this was the extreme OB right here. This was the real extreme. So let me drop it actually correctly. The market pushed, then we broke structure. We actually broke this one. That is not pretty major structure, but we still broke it to the downside. We returned. We broke structure again right there. So the market is starting to turn a little bit bearish, right? Still, you can mark this one because this one also triggered momentum, almost got tapped, but it actually wasn't tapped. And again, another detail, guys, that I want to mention to you, in some of your charts, I see that you're not really precise with the OBs. And I really want you to be precise again. Like, don't draw it like this, something like this in the middle. What I do is take this magnet key or just press Control on your keyboard. And when you press Control, the market is gonna immediately trigger that and take it by the wick. Always do this because you want to be precise with that. And then as you can see, the market mitigated this. I almost broke structure, but then came again, mitigated almost this one, and then actually broke structure. So you see it here from the top that the market is starting to turn bearish. And this is really nice. And then even if you drop to the 1 minute, you can even find something else maybe, but yeah. So this is something else that I wanted to share. It's just thoughts popping out in our minds right now, and when we're suggesting things, so you take notes later and you add to your own trading as well. Let me check the chat. Regarding backtesting, how does your routine look like with backtesting? Do you have specific days where you backtest? Oh, well, yeah. I usually try to backtest on the during the evenings. So once the day is done, I've had dinner and I'm about to relax. Maybe I'm just gonna watch something, or if I don't have anything to watch, then I'm gonna do some backtesting. And as well, we spoke with Devet as well, like very recently, to just do just before your trading day begins, just take 1 or 2 trades on backtest. Just for example, before analyzing the market, just for example, zoom out a little bit, like this, hit the replay too, whatever it is, and then just analyze the market carefully and try to take just 1 trade, for example, at the beginning of the day, right? But I think we should, yeah, again, questions might start popping, but how do we get into backtesting right now? Do you have a plan, bro? Do you...
Yes, I will start. I'll share my screen.
Okay, good then, good. And I'm gonna add up if something pops.
Yes, I'll do the easy way. You can do the hard way.
Let me see. Yeah, you can share now.
Okay. Okay, so this, you can all see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this technique is, I think, very easy to follow, very easy to understand, and it's kind of a nice way to just get into the flow of the market. So I would typically suggest doing this before you start trading. Whenever you start trading, morning, evening, midnight, before you start trading, to maybe take 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and just apply this technique and see where it takes you. You know. So basically, it's very simple. I already marked out a few areas. So what I would do is I go on the 4-hour and I would look in for hindsight trades, meaning trades that happened and was successful. So one thing about backtesting is you want to see what works and what works not. And in this case, we look at what works, and we'll see if we, with our approach, would have gotten an entry with that specific way of how that trade developed. So I'm going to start with just this example. We can see we had a push and a pullback. The market aggressively pushed towards the upside. Remember, this is the 4-hour. We had this semi-break of structure, and we pulled down, didn't reach, like barely tapped it, pushed away, created some liquidity. So we have that liquidity there on the 4-hour as well. And then we have a previous low. So this was the 7th of December. This was the 9th of December. So this was probably the low of the week, this low. So I'm just marking and seeing, looking at the date, and see this was most probably so far the low of the week. And we know by looking at the example in the course as well, when we look at something like this, where we want to see areas being taken out that potentially we just mark that out and take that into consideration that we have this manipulation move towards the downside. I take note of the time and I see this candle, or we'll see that now on the 1 hour. So this is what I'm seeing on the 4 hour, and then I would just use the playback tool so as not to get lost when you go down time frames. That's just a tip. Okay, so that's the 4 hour. Then I just drop to the 1 hour and I start looking at how I would have approached this on the 1 hour. Now I'm seeing on the 1 hour, okay, where was the order block in the 1 hour? Well, I think this pretty clear that this would have been the 1 hour order block. So I'm just going to keep everything blue for just for comfort's sake. So there we have a 1 hour order block. We pushed towards the upside, had a pullback, pushed up, and then we had the sideways moving market. So this happened on the 2nd of December, and this is now where we just missed it on the 9th. So a week later, the following week, we came back to that area. You see, you can tell that I'm busy telling a story. Like I'm going through it and I'm telling myself, what did I see happen? Why did this happen? How could I have entered into this trade? Nothing clear on the 1 hour, but if I look at the 50%, we did manage to tap to perfection the 50% of the 4 hour order block. So I would count this area now as mitigated, meaning that price did tap this area, we did respect it, we did reject it, and we are now most probably moving towards the upside. Dropping to the 50 minutes, how could I have entered into this market? Well, unfortunately, I can't go lower than the 50-minute, then it drops, it bums out. But just reading market structure, we had a high here, we broke this high, and then probably somewhere where we didn't actually really break the high, so that was the most recent high. Let's just make it the right color again. Template, structure break. So there was our structure break towards the upside. Where did this structure break originate from? This is where it originated from. And so this is then where the order block would have been. Come on. We can just put it through. So you have to be honest with yourself. You would have seen that we created these equal highs, equal lows, and most probably we have imbalance here as well. And most probably your entry would have then been, my entry would have been something like this, and stop loss below the structure. And then take profit would have been first take profit at this order block. So price came up and would have been break even, came back down to break even. Or as you will learn later, we might not have gone to break even. Why not? Because this is our structure break. In this move, we know that where the structure break originates from, that is most probably where we will see a pullback. Now, again, on the lower time frame, we might see the 5-minute order block or something in here. Needless to say, break even, not break even. We came back into this area again, rejected it, and then started to push towards the upside to this target. And then let's see if we probably did reach. Yes, we did reach the higher time frame target. Okay, so that is how I would have just analyzed it. And then what you can do is you reverse it completely. After you've done that, now I'm reversing it completely. I'm deleting this. I am going to have that levels on because that is my higher time frame areas. And then I start to play it out again. Then we play it out again. I see we reached that level, we tapped it. Okay, now I want to go on my 1 hour time frame. Now I want to see the shift. Oh, sorry, the lower time frame. I want to see the shift, see how price reacts to it, and see, okay, here we have price tapped in there. So most probably this would then have been possibly, I would say, okay, maybe this will be an order block. Something, okay, maybe if we see the structure break, we see price push up, come back down, and then push up. So that is realistically how I would have approached it. And we carry on, see we did come back, played in that area. Okay, so we had a minor break over here. There we had a minor break. Where did that originate from? Still this area, you'd say this candle, because the next one engulfed it. So will price come back to this area? Just misses it and starts to push towards the upside again. Now I'm seeing, okay, now the muscle memory is starting to exercise and starting to form, and we're starting to create habits and patterns within our thought process that helps us to selectively see what we need to see. Now already I'm seeing, okay, perhaps we have these set of equal lows, and which will definitely be equal lows on the 5 minute or 3 minute. We have imbalance. So if price starts to come back, gives me more evidence, then I would like to look for a long. Let's see what does price doing. We did come back, we created a low, we didn't tap into it. Do not be afraid. Don't think, oh no, I missed the trade. Let's enter now. I'm going to enter the trade now. This is now just a real life example. Never do this. If you have your area and you see price running away, don't just enter like this. I've made this mistake. And then what happens? I think, oh, I should keep my stop loss below the low. It's wider now, it's fine. I just don't want to have FOMO. I just want to be in the trade, and then get stopped out just to see price going in your direction. So don't make a debate mistake. Learn from it. Sorry, off topic. Anyway, coming back, we created another set of equal lows. There is now the entry, and so we're doing the exact same thing after the hindsight, but now we're doing it the replay mode. Now I think, okay, there we would have entered. Realistically, where would the take profit have been? Well, we can say we have this low. That's most probably the take profits of the order block on the 15 minutes. So we can say that is then our take profit. You see how I'm now noticing details that I might have missed earlier. So I'm noticing that detail now. That's a almost 8-hour trade. And we would have just missed it. But as Ilya always says, if you are 80% there, take profit and be done with it. So if we had taken profit there, that would have still been 6.97 R, and it would have been a great trading day. You would have been happy and slept well. So that is then how we did that test. So this took me not sure how long, maybe 5-10 minutes, and that's one. And then I just go again, bring back all the data, and then I go on to the next example. So let's take this example. Okay, we have the 4-hour. How would we analyze this? We are seeing that we are moving towards the downside. We are making lower lows and lower highs. We had a break in structure here, over here. Rather messy, some wicks, but we had the strong push and left imbalance. So we can see price coming back up to that area. We are seeing it coming back up to that area. So I'm not cheating in the sense that I'm just making things up. I'm trying to rationalizing it and trying to come up with good reasoning behind why price is doing what it's doing. I'm not just making things up as I'm going along. So and that is why I use the playback tool. But this is then where we would have seen the trade. So even on the 1 hour, we had a nice break in structure. We can see we have a cleaner 1 hour order block there as well. And in this case, again, the 4 hour was tapped to 50%. Well, not even the 4 hour was tapped to 50%, but we just tapped it. So I'm learning from it. I'm making notes about this. Then we see price coming back up into this area. We also have this relative set of equal highs that we have over here. So you see all the things that we want to see in a pattern. Oh, why come on. So just on a note, this would have been entry number 1, entry type number 1. If you just on the 1 hour, for instance, did the entry and then take profit down wherever. So that would have been a type 1. But now I want to see more confirmation. So going to the 50 minutes, how would we have approached this? Well, we can clearly see that this is messed up price action. All of this is just really, really, really not nice to look at. You have to really dissect it because you have pushed down, all the way up, all the way down, up, down, 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 and then just sideways moving market, consolidating. So then I have to be honest with myself. Would I have still tried to look for a trade seeing this price action? Well, I'm not sure if I can go to the 5 minutes. Yes, I can go to the 5 minutes. On the 5 minute, I would have now have to look at this. Okay, let's try to just dissect it. We tapped into this area, we rejected it, we started pushing towards the downside. So we created a series of break-off structures. So we had this break-off structure. We eventually had this break-off structure as well with this push towards the downside. This is where it all originated from. So this was the first push towards the downside, breaking this structure. And then we had a pullback. So this was a minor structure break. So this would not have been for me, this would have been a semi-confirmation entry, just seeing that price didn't break really any significant structure towards the downside. I would have been more confident after we break this low on the 5 minute to take a short. So price did come back. So I'm just saying, okay, price mitigated this area, price came back again into this area, and then we saw this consolidation. So personally, am I seeing an entry? No, I'm not seeing an entry. So I'm going back to the 1 hour, and I'm noting that I would have not have gotten a confirmation entry on this trade. And just on another note, before I answer some questions or see what's in the chat, I would have then screenshotted it. So go to my 4 hour and take a screenshot of this with notes and annotations. And I would take a screenshot and just say save image. And I go to the 1 hour, exact same thing, screenshot it, 15 minutes, make sure I have notes, my thought process, why I would not have taken this trade or why I would have taken this trade, and then screenshot it as well. After doing that, you know how to journal it in the Notion template, and then you would do that. Now, this is the tricky part. Now, do the replay mode of just before price got to that area. But I know price was messy, but now I want to practice and condition my brain to identify when it's messy price action. So this is the psychology behind it. You see the result of, you see the formation, you see the pattern, you see the messiness, you see, and you connect that into your brain of, okay, this is not good. I'm not taking this trade. I do not see an entry. Now we reverse it and we take the steps leading up to that situation, and we try to teach our brains to identify when not to take a trade. So one of my biggest problems, I often still struggle with it. It's much better now. One of the things that I struggled with the most was, when do I know when not to take a trade? When can I have the confidence to stay away from the chart and not take this trade now? And this is what it teaches you, to learn to identify when not to take a trade. So you do this so often that the good setups that you do, the hindsight and the replay mode, they just pop out on the chart. So when you open the chart in the morning and you see what's happening, you can almost instinctively know, yes, I might see a nice setup, or no, I'm rather not going to trade today. So this is the idea of this backtesting. So again, just running quickly through it. On the 1 hour, we want to see price reaching this level, and then we would look for a short. So we wait, we see price almost tapped it, there price tapped it. Let's go to the 15 minute. Now we want to see a shift in structure, shift in momentum. So currently we can see price is pushing up, down, up, down, up, down. So this is our last lower high. This is our new, higher low. This is now new higher low. So until we break this low, we are still in an uptrend. So then I would mark out, okay, this is our most recent low. So technically, I would want to see this low broken first. So then I would draw up, as you see every morning in the analysis, I would want to see the push down and then a pullback. But currently, I'm not seeing a nice order block candle, so we might not get. That's okay, but let's see how price is acting. Okay, we have momentum. Nothing. Okay, so we do not yet have a break. So I'm sitting on my hands. I'm not going to look for a trade because I identified from the beginning that this is the area that needs to be broken, closed below. Otherwise, this trade is not it's not feasible. It's not worth risking money on it. So why am I now gonna just torture myself. Okay, so we have to continue. Again, nothing, 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 nothing. Okay, now I'm seeing this is just really messy price action. I'm not seeing anything clear. Eventually, do we get a break? Okay, we get a break, but there's not a strong break, and this is midnight. So as Asian session, midnight, I'm not trading EU in midnight. So right there, trade thrown out of the window, and I know this is not the trade. And you see how I'm conditioning myself going forward, going backward, and practicing it like this to really identify good setups and bad setups as well. Yes, so that is from me. Any questions, any comments?
Yes, I have a question. If you want to take the trade as a swing trade, you could have entered with a wider stop loss, or?
Yes, this is now typically for intraday trading, my style of trading and
yes,
how
I know.
I apply this strategy. But yes, if you are a swing trader and you do this from just a 4-hour point of view, most definitely, then that's how you then backtest. You practice it, and from that approach, saying, okay, I would have entered a sell there, I would have had my stop loss above the high, and then I would have taken profited, let's say, to fill this week at the low, and that would have been the intra-week swing trade, and that would have been a win. Okay, so then you would not necessarily jump to the 15-minute at all, because.
But do you think it's sensible to combine both? To trade swing trades and additionally our manipulation strategy?
Yes, but not necessarily on the same day. I would alternate between the two.
Okay.
Just to focus on that one type of style the one day, and the following day, just the more, let's say, type 1 entries on the 4-hour or 1 hour. Because to be honest, you would not necessarily, that's something I just thought about a while back, but yeah, you can say if you agree, but I'm not sure if you would really get that double confirmation type 2 entries on the 4-hour. You would more often than not get the type 1 entries on the 4-hour. But that's why we have the type 2 entry, to get that extra confirmation on the lower time frames, because it's fractal. We go down the time frames and we look for an entry. But yes, type 1 entries, definitely. You could now, for me, type 2 entry would then have to be maybe this order block, something like that, because that's imbalance. That's where the push came in, breaking structure. So that would have then been the second entry. But as you can see, nothing didn't happen. So yes, that's how I would backtest it, and definitely on the low, high time frames for swing trading. On the swing trading, I might look at daily levels, start at the daily, and then identify daily areas, and then drop to the 4-hour, 1 hour, and just skip the 50 minutes altogether.
Okay.
Yes. Would you place a trade if you find a nice entry to trade, but they're on news event that day? Do you refer to in the backtesting, or just now in real, just everyday life? If it is just everyday trading, yes, I would, depending on the level of the news. You will, with your time and experience, you will often see that news is just a catalyst for the technicals to play out. News is just that push up into the order block before it reverses. But I would definitely be mindful of my position, and I see news, I am in profit, I am in a nice position. Now news is coming out, I would definitely think, okay, am I going to secure this position? How many am I already up? Ask myself those type of questions, and then maybe just close the trade. Or in other times, I would just keep it open. Like for instance, I think EU somewhere along the line this week, or I can't remember when it was, there was news and I kept it open and price kept pushing in my direction. And other times, because I was already far away from my entry. If I'm still close to my entry, I would say, okay, let's just rather cut the trade or just put it at break even and then take it from there. Anything else? Do you understand this approach? No, no one understands it. Sorry.
Yes, we understand it.
Yeah, not some standard type one setups every time.
So one disadvantage I see in this backtesting strategy, you just figure out to take trades to zoom in a smaller time frame when you already saw on the H4 time frame that it played out well. So you do not
Yes.
focus on potential trades because you see on the 4-hour time frame it didn't play out.
Yes. So
you're just training your entry strategy on a lower time frame.
yes.
I do have not a confirmation if this order block was, for example, valid, say H4 order block, if it played out.
So I'm not sure if I understand correct. So I do start from the 4-hour and you
Yes.
see, yes, it did play out. So it did respect. So let's take this. Yeah. So we have this 4-hour order block and did come back to it. And this type of backtesting, yes, you're absolutely right. I'm just practicing and testing my ability to identify 4-hour order blocks, identify 1-hour order blocks, and identify an entry pattern. That's what I'm practicing. I'm not necessarily practicing how far can I take it, how profitable will I be with it. Yeah, so it's just for me to see, okay, this is, I think especially for brand new people learning the system or brand new traders that's just really starting out and getting to grips and getting to understanding with how this works. It's just a method. If you don't like it, don't use it. But it's something that I have found works for me to really solidify my understanding of what I'm looking for. It has this disadvantage that I think backtesting isn't perfect at all. I don't think any backtesting system is 100% accurate, but we do it to the best of our abilities to gain some knowledge out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say this is the preferred approach for newbies as well. That are just, as David said, trying to understand a strategy, just see where a move started, just go again. And the explanation was perfect. So for type 1, when you look at morning manipulation, do you always look at 15-minute or do you check 1 hour too? And which time frame do you pay most attention to for a break of structure? Yeah, well, it depends again. Like if you have the hourly time frame trending to the upside, if it has already broken structure to the upside, and then you should already look on the 15-minute and then spot your order block for the potential morning manipulation. The break of structure should already have happened if you're looking for a continuation and a morning manipulation. So hope that is clear. And it will start making sense once you start looking at the content as well, the daily analysis, all the trades that are also taken. But yeah.
So in this case, if we come back completely, we can see that this move towards the upside broke the structure. So we have an indication that price is moving higher. If we drop to the 1 hour, we see that same indication that price did break this structure as well. So we can refine our area to that point over there as the 1 hour area, and then start playing it back. You can see price creating that equal lows, and then did not come back to fill this area. So that's just this is now a very good example of it not playing out exactly. And that is the reality of it. It doesn't always play out. If you came here thinking that this is going to be a 100% win rate strategy and you're going to catch every setup, I'm very glad to disappoint you, because that's never going to happen. So you're going to have to see like this, and you're going to say, okay, but what did I do wrong? Was my order block placed correctly? Yes. Did we have break of structures? Yes. Did we create equal lows? Yes. But we did not see it breaking and tap into it. And it is just what it is. And then continue on to the next. And that will happen in trading as well. Because now I can see, okay, but on the 4 hour, this was the order block, the 4 hour order block, but I would not have gotten an entry still. Even though we came back to the 4 hour order block, I would have had to have my entry over there and my stop loss below, almost 50 pips, and would have at least to get a 3R trade, I had to do something like this. So if that is your style and your way of trading, use it and do it like this. But that is not the way I trade. Even though this might have been a profitable trade in the end, I'm not willing to wait 2nd of July to 14th of July to wait 2 weeks for 3R. That's just not my style. But that's just another example of the fractal nature of it.
Yep.
So
Darius,
yes,
can I say something real quick? Yes, of course you can, bro. Come on.
Hey, so I know one thing that like is kind of like it kind of throws me off sometimes is when you have those like minor order blocks when it's breaking that structure. So
Okay.
like kind of how can I show you? It's like July. So when you go to the a little to the left.
Ah, okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, that morning
this
star
one.
it made. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to decide. You have to backtest again. What works for you? Personally, I always try to take the extreme OBs, the one that actually started the move from the bottom. Because if you take it from that middle one, it's fine. But if you have a bigger one at the bottom, then you would always like to target the bigger one.
well, if this was the middle one, let's say the middle one, it's on the 4 hour. So if we look at it at the 4 hour, let's just mark it out. So this is the 4 hour one, dropping to the 1 hour. We refine it and we say, if this is the 4 hour one, what would be the, okay, let's keep it at the 4 hour one. And then dropping to the 15 minutes, you might have, can we see this is London, sorry, New York open, 3 o'clock, very nice. So if you were looking for, this is actually, it looks almost like a type 1 entry because we have the break of structure showed here. We have some equal lows as here. We have equal lows here as well. And then you would have probably have to have a aggressive entry and take profit at the most recent highs. So that would have been your trade, and you would have probably been break even by this point because of type 1 entries. We tend to be more aggressive with the break even, and it would have just been stopped out the break even, and you see price continue up, down, lower, and that's how you will identify with your backtesting that price. When does price tend to go for the more extreme order block, or when would it go for like this minor order blocks? So a lot of those questions that you might have, we not necessarily can't give you the answers because we didn't write the market script. It's something that you have to backtest as well, and what works for you. These past 2 weeks, me and Ela spoke about it as well, and we just saw that I got more entries for trades because I have a more aggressive approach, whereas he did not get all his entries, price ran away from him. And other weeks, he might get better entries and better risk to reward trades, and I would get stopped out because I'm too aggressive, I'm too impulsive. You see, so each of us are different, and we trade what works for us. And yeah, I just wanted to answer this question from Augustine. Able to describe more on how your routine looks, what it looks like to get a setup for the day to trade. So I'm not sure, Augustine, do you watch the morning analysis? That is my routine. I wake up, do my things, do the dogs, give them food, have my routine at home, make my wife a coffee and so on. And I help her, I make her breakfast before she goes to school. She's a teacher. And then I do the morning analysis and I see what I show you. So we both see the same thing. And then I would set alerts and monitor those setups that are identified as the most probable. I would then most probably set alerts. I would, see what chat's going on, what other people are seeing, answer questions. And then as price reaches those levels, then I would start look for type 1, type 2 entry patterns. And then when the setup occurs, and just hit the trade. So that's with regards to how I start the day with trading. So I'm very relaxed about it, and then I will monitor throughout the day, take a break in between the sessions, and then New York session, just before New York session, have a look again if anything's setting up, and then go for it. Ahmed, how do you deal with double manipulation? For example, it breaks a range, say it's upward, come down, structure break below, and then reverses again. So this is a big characteristic of GU. GU would often do that. It would take liquidity to the upside, take liquidity to the downside, and then go in the intended direction. For that reason, it's very, very important to understand the high time frame direction and stick to your bias until proven otherwise. So until proven guilty. Trust the high time frame analysis until proven guilty or inadequate, and then only look for something else. But yes, that happens a lot on GU. So that's something you have to pay attention to. Do I check volume indicators before taking trades? No, I do not. I've never used the volume indicator. I don't think it's necessary. Day in the vet's life. Yes, I hope you all hear the dogs in the morning. Oh, Nola, she is interesting. Do I set my chart up again when preparing for New York session? What you see in the morning analysis, I keep that on for the day. I would maybe adjust levels as the day progresses and see how it develops and how it plays out. But yes, and I think someone else had the question as well, weekly. So I would often in the week, at the end of the week, like today, I would clean the charts. Like I would remove all drawings, and then I would start over fresh, look at what is the daily range, what is doing on the daily. And because I'm doing this every morning for you guys, I remember, like it's like imprinted into my memory when I'm actually see what's happening, and I'm actually remembering, and I'm seeing everything that I spoke about. I remember what I spoke about. So me coming now, when this is over, either tonight or tomorrow morning early, I'll start again from the daily. I won't repeat everything I said last week, seeing that we are still more or less seeing the same thing. But I know what to look for and what I want to see happen. Typically now, like Ilya said as well, we are kind of in a limbo. Are we going higher? Are we going lower? Where are we going? So typically Mondays, I prefer not trading. That was a big achievement for me to be able to not trade on Mondays, because you can ask Ilya, I was an impulsive trader. Like Mondays, first thing, London Open, I want to be in a trade. And I would be like, yeah, check it, I'm in trade, a profit, or yay, check it, I lost. So being free of that impulsiveness to trade Monday has really leveled. I felt like I've leveled up, just not having the need to trade on Monday and seeing how things play out. And I want to encourage you, even though you're not doing it for anyone else but yourself, get a screen recorder, put in your iPhone earphones, mic, and just record what you see in the morning, like I do the morning analysis, and start to do that on a daily basis. And you will see how your trading improves, how you start to stick with your bias better, because then you create some content that you can look back on and see what you saw on Monday and how it played out through the week up until Friday. That is very good. So if you can get a screen recorder, record yourself, save it, store it. It's something that can be used in your documentary 10 years down the line when you are the newest Forex millionaire and featured in Forbes. That's just joking. But, it's something that you can do to help you improve. It's helped me a lot by doing this every morning, and I do think it's beneficial. Yeah, that's enough rambling from my side. Ilya, the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah. Well, you actually shared everything that I wanted to say. So maybe I'm just gonna share one more tip for you to make it easy, maybe to backtest. Let me see. Very good advice. Yeah, what you can also do, guys, you can record yourselves and you can post it in a group. That's also a good thing, just to put yourself out there for the others to see as well. It kind of keeps you accountable. And yeah, doing like a daily analysis or something like this, not for example 50 people doing daily analysis, but just do it for yourself. And if you want to be accountable, share it as well. This is why we have this community to ask questions, to share charts, to share your analysis, and yeah, that's it. And actually, if some of you spot something interesting that you want to share, record a video. We're gonna share it. We're gonna share it. Even if it's really good, we're gonna share it in the course. But it's really nice we can even jump on a webinar to do about it. So feel free to share everything because it's all about growing together. And yeah. So let me check Zubair. I find it hard to focus on etc. Manipulation. Yeah. So this is the biggest kind of yeah, I won't say fear for me, but I get a little bit fearful that members are gonna confuse a little bit between two strategies. And if you really try to focus on both, you're gonna get a little bit carried away. So what the way that the course is structured right now, you start with the first course, which is really simple market structure. This is basically for beginners, for complete beginners, to learn the market structure, to learn all the formations that work actually. And then the second course is the 2.0, 2.1 strategy. This is like the continuation trading, which is kind of a step up from the first module. And then the tip of the cake, the cherry, is the manipulation. And this is really like more advanced. And like this is like the end, but you cannot focus on everything. You can't trade 2.1, you can't trade 2.0 and trade manipulation at the same time. What you can do is just focus on 3 pairs for manipulation and maybe scan the market for other setups as well. But again, if you feel comfortable and confident enough to embark with this sort of trading, because it requires a little bit more experience, right? You definitely need to see those things over and over again. You have to be first knowledgeable to trade market structure before jumping to this method, right? So yes, my tip will be to just focus on one thing only. Yes, so if you're right now looking to get into manipulation, I would tell you to dedicate, for example, 1 month on watching the webinars, on watching the boot camps, watching the course content, and really getting to know everything. And then, for example, starting to backtest, and then maybe taking it on demo or even a small account live, because it takes time. Like, we try to answer your questions as much as possible, but sometimes it's not about us to answer. You have to find it by yourself. Sometimes you just have to backtest. You have to gain market experience. So, for example, you get stopped out. Why did you get stopped out? Journal it. Next time, I'm not gonna do this. Okay. And there was an example with the double fake out. So you get in an entry, then it manipulates again. Well, yes, you ask us how to deal with it, but you have to see it yourself, and then you can take notes. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do it next time. If I actually enter a trade, I'm gonna wait again. So what was there was a trade that we took to get. I'm not gonna try to find it because it's gonna take a lot of time. But we got in. The market nicely pushed up. We went break even, stop us out, and then actually the market provided another entry. So from then on, a lesson that I learned is if you get stopped out, then don't give up. Maybe look for a re-entry. And this is what you're going to learn with practice. Maybe sometimes we can build the data analysis together, meaning that some of the students could propose their view. Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Yes. You are absolutely welcome to do that. Absolutely. I could create. Yeah.
You're even welcome to post GU analysis video in GU.
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't want to. We don't want to create too many channels and get it cluttered. And I don't know. We can discuss it, but for now, I think you can just post it. If it's GU, post it in the GU channel, EU in the EU, and AU, and other pairs in the other pairs.
Yeah.
If you need recommendations for screen recorders, I use one for Windows. I have one for Windows and one for Mac. I can try to share it with you, or if Ilya uses a web one, mine is a program, so there's no rendering. You record it and immediately save it to your PC, and it's saved to your PC. So there's different options. So if you need options, just reach out. I think we will in any way in the resources tab or somewhere just post what we use.
Yeah.
or you're welcome to use whatever works for you. And yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So very good idea. Yes. So we can all learn from each other. And yeah, great. I see that everybody likes it, so we definitely should implement this. Okay, very nice. So maybe a little tip from me also when it comes to backtesting. You can take this indicator, so Asian session range. So let it load. So what I'm gonna do is, for example, when I backtest, let's say we're gonna try to take a trade, for example, and I would say start from the beginning of January, because this is when you can drop to the 3-minute. I think. Let me check. Yeah, okay, you can drop to the 3-minute, because if you go a little bit on the left, it doesn't allow you to go to the 3-minute. And then what you can do is you can start even from the daily. You can start even from the 4-hourly. For example, on the daily, when I start my backtesting session, I'm going to have a look on the daily, like the market is in an uptrend. I have a little bit of imbalance right there, for example. So I'm going to mark that out. Then I'm going to drop to the 4-hourly time frame, and I'm going to see that I have an OB right here, just right there. Why I marked this OB? Because this is when the real momentum kicked in. This one is still valid, and I can see that it was actually tapped later, but let's say that we don't know about this. Let me actually remove it. So I'm going to be looking for this OB for potential longs. And if we have a play like this, maybe I can even take a short. Where do I want to take a short? Of course, from the highest place, which is, as we learned, this is the premium pricing. So if we drop this VIP, I have premium and discount, something like this. Yeah, we want to take it above this area right there, above the 50%. What I'm going to do later is I'm going to drop to the hourly, and I'm going to see what I can do. Okay, so what I can do is I can refine this right there. I can plot a little hourly OB on this indecision, because this indecision was engulfed. So I'm going to actually take it like this, mark it as 1H. Then I'm going to look at the top, because you can see how much momentum was triggered from the top. Then I'm going to mark this potentially bullish candle right there, because it can also be an OB. And this is how I'm going to set up my hourly time frame. So where is the market right now? It's super extended to the downside. So what I can wait for is for the market either to tap down there to take a long, or to start reversing to take a short from up here. And then what I would do is I would trigger Asian session range and wait for the Asian session to open and to even close. So here it is. So it's in purple, and I'm gonna wait a little bit up until this time. So up until, yeah, this is 7 o'clock. Yeah, this is when I sit to analyze my charts every single morning. It's 7 o'clock my time. If I'm to share the settings with you, so I'm going to keep them like this. And if you later want to set the indicator, just revisit this video. This is London, 3 up until 6:30. Not sure why 30. I think it's the basic settings. And New York starts at 8 Eastern, and I ends at 11:30. And this is just like the time that you want to trade, your trading window. It's not the whole session, it's just the trading window. And then as Asian session develops, I have my hourly levels, and then I'm going to drop to the 15-minute. So what did Asian session do? Okay, it's a trending Asian session, right? So maybe what could happen is we can have an aggressive entry into market open. The market can spike below and then continue to the upside towards taking a sell from the upside. So what I can do as well, let's see. Well, I would mark, for example, this one right there. Oops, not with this one. I would mark this. And why I would mark this? Because this was not engulfed. Actually, I would take this one because this is engulfed. This is my 15-minute OB. And why I am actually drawing this? Because I don't want to take it from here, simply because we have this sort of little equal lows right there. So that could be a potential setup that you can backtest into London Open, and then just see if the market spikes inside it. Okay, it spikes. And maybe again, if you kept a tight stop loss, you would have been stopped out maybe. And then this is London Open. You see how the little green thingy starts to pop up. And this is how I do it. So let's see what London does. Nothing really, pretty much consolidating. It didn't continue down. It didn't continue up. Then this was invalid. If we took the loss, we took the loss. Doesn't matter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press a little bit more. This is when New York opens. So I have something to look for New York? Not really, because it's been a day of consolidation right there. So what I'm simply going to do is just skip the day. And then I'm going to wait again for another Asian session. As you can see, boom, boom, boom. Oops, it starts. Let's see. This is 6 o'clock. And this is when Asian session starts. And again, I'm going to quickly revisit the 4-hourly again. So what you see happened yesterday, the market actually broke to the upside and created those little equal lows right there. So maybe we can expect longer term the market to drop into this OB and to reverse up. But right now it's interesting that we're getting into the highs. So we can maybe look for a sell. Then again, dropping to the hourly time frame, where do I want to look for a sell? At this OB. Okay, not below. I want to look at this OB. And then what I'm going to do, so some of you might say right now, Darius, I'm sure, is going to say you have a break of structure right there on the hourly, and I have this OB. Can I take this trade? Yes, you can. But where is the market right now? Right? So if we drop the FIP, fine. It's in premium. So you can take the trade. But do you have an OB above with big imbalance right there? Yes, you have. So potentially if you take this one, could be like a little bit lower probability. It doesn't look bad. Again, if I drop to the 15-minute, actually the OB stays the same. Like this is the candle that triggered the momentum that broke structure. So you should be in the trade already. And London session is right now opening. So I'm actually not looking for a trade from here. And then I'm just going to see, let's see, here we go. London opens. This is actually Frankfurt open, right? And what I'm waiting for right now is for the market to tap inside that area. Let's see. Okay, right now actually London opened. So here's your London open. Market spikes to the downside. Maybe an aggressive entry from here. Didn't really tap. So I'm still not seeing any trades. London is still developing. Okay, here we go. So we tapped into this one. So again, I'm readjusting. London session is over. Maybe I can look for a New York trade. But how do I want to frame that New York trade? Well, I want to see some sort of a break of structure. And then potentially I can even drop to the 5-minute maybe to have a look. What do we have? Again, we had those equal highs. They were broken. And right now I want to see a break of that structure, let's say. Let's test it out, see if we're going to have it with some nice momentum. Not really. Okay, we had a break, but it's not the break that I wanted to see. So again, we should mark it out like this. This is a break of structure to the downside. And so where you can take a trade from right there, zoom in. This is your biggest OB on the top. It was mitigated. You see wicks, no imbalance. Right there, this is an OB as well. Push to the downside was mitigated. This one is also mitigating. So can you go back where you said, I would have said it broke structure. Bro, I'm focused right now on this one. So yeah, I'm just trying to see for an entry right there, but I don't see it. To be honest, I like to take a short trade right there. Maybe this one. But again, I wouldn't like to trade this because if I take it from here, I would like my stop loss to really be something like that, a little bit above. Maybe what I can do is I can drop to the 3-minute. Let's see if the 3-minute is going to make sense. Okay, it makes a little bit more sense. So I'm going to refine into this one. And maybe we can take a short from here. Stop loss could be like this because you can see even the 3-minute OB right there was mitigated. So 6 pips is not bad. And then what we can do is we can target either London lows, something like this for first take profit, and maybe even later Tokyo lows, Asian station. So let's see what happens. I really don't like this one, but whoosh, look at that. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that move. But yeah, then, for example, you take your profits right there, the first one, then you can write it, of course, into Asian station low because this is a high probability for a TP. But again, you can see, yeah, okay, just New York session just took it home. So this is how I do it. And then again, you see how we planned it actually to look for longs from there. But if the market decides to pull back here, we can look for shorts. And we actually took the short. So again, what I'm going to do on the next day. So very nice. This trade was taken. I'm going to journal it. And then after New York session is open, I'm going to skip again. Skip again. And wait for Asian session. Here is Asian session. Wait until, yeah, here is 8 o'clock. I actually skipped a little bit. So what happened yesterday is the market broke structure to the downside. It didn't break the low, but right now I'm actually want to look for sells, right? Where do I want to look for sales? Where the move was initiated, which was right there. So potentially I would love to take a short from here if the market decides to fake above. Having a little bit right there, not really liking that one because it's a middle one. So I would like to take it from the extreme right there. And after I have my hourly levels, so I'm not going to drop an hourly level right there because I don't want to take a trade from here. I'm going to drop to the 15 to check the Asian session. Asian session overall trending, and actually it kind of makes sense actually to take a trade from here. I really don't like it because it looks like an equal high, and definitely a spike above right there would be nice. But let's see how it plays out. It wouldn't hurt to actually take a trade from here. Let's see, stop loss above. 15 pips. And then potentially we can actually target today into that imbalance that we marked. Maybe I'm going to consult with the 5-minute as well. How does it look like? It's nice. We have that little candle right there that we can also use for entry, but I'm going to keep it like this. And then let's see how London opens. Let's see, we got tagged in. And I would be securing break even by now. Yeah, let's see how it develops. Maybe I'm going to be securing right now, because it doesn't break structure, which is not a good signal. Again, the OBs are all mitigated right there. And which means that even if we don't want to secure because we think the market is going to mitigate an OB, we didn't have a break of structure, which shows us a little bit of kind of a weakness to break below. So I'm going to actually secure right now. And maybe gonna get stopped out or maybe missed by a bit. And let's see. So yeah, the session is actually over. Again, it depends on how you manage the trades. You journal it, you see what you can do. New York session is over. We took the trade. And then again, so is that process kind of clear, guys? Is it making sense how I do it actually with this session thingy? Just to check up if everybody's listening.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, good, good. Right. Okay. Very nice. Would you consider having 2 sell orders? Yes. Yes, definitely. So again, it depends on your personality. Again, we took it from here. I would have been skeptical too much to take it from here, but you can see it worked out. But again, if I was stopped out, then I would wait for the market to get inside right there and still look for a sell. But this is going to be a type 2 sell. Again, the market is going to tap, going to wait for a little pullback, break of structure, retest, and then potentially go. While this, I hope you recognize, this was type 1 entry, right? This is more the vet and more the Darius style. Darius loves those trades. Just set and forget. And yeah, maybe let's take one more trade. Let's see if actually, I think this OB should be tapped because I remember. So let's see again. Waiting for Asian session. Here is your Asian session. Oops, I actually skipped a little bit, but let's analyze what do we have. Currently, I don't see a clear hourly OB. Okay, this one still stays. Maybe if I remove right now, no, I'm not gonna remove them. I see that little bit of imbalance just right there. That is just getting tapped. So keeping that in mind and dropping to the 15. Nice OB right there on the 15. This one as well. So maybe another aggressive sell right here. Maybe. Can we take it? Well, of course we can. It should have actually already been tapped. Again, stop loss above the OB. And then we can actually target that 4 hourly OB. So let's see if London is going to tag us out. Okay, we got stopped out on that one. Let's see. London consolidates. And actually, New York goes too high. Where does it go? So again, view the story. Have a look. This is why I was skeptical to take a sell from here, because I saw like these kind of equal highs right there. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Have a look where the market went exactly to take them out. And then we have the reversal. So if we took that trade, we have a loss. We journal it. Unfortunately, I have to leave. Yep, no problem, Fitki. Make sure to rewatch it later. And have a great evening as well. I just want to see if that bastard is going to tap into the 4 hourly OB so I could take a long, man. So let's keep it. Boom, boom, boom. So right now, what I can see again for the next day, oh, this is the 15 minutes. So again, after the session is over, I'm going to go to the hourly. And you can see that I just flicked through hourly 15 minutes, hourly 15 minutes. Sometimes when you get a little bit lost, again, look at the 4 hourly. What is the 4 hourly doing right now? It's building a lot of consolidation, lots of equal lows right there. So a play like this, tap and go, is really likely. So let's see actually what happens. Dropping again to the hourly time frame and waiting for Asia session. Ooh, oh, okay. We're actually here. Tap the 4 hourly, tap the hourly. Let's look for our entry right now. So let's see how Asian session is going to end. Oops. And potentially we're going to wait for type 2 right there. So we have to be patient. So, okay, nice further manipulation down. And right now we actually have London opening. So let's jump on the 15-minute right now to monitor. Nice equal lows right there. They got broken very strongly. So right now my structure is actually this one. Let's see. Come on. Let's see if it's actually going to get broken. I usually mark it like this. Break of structure for conservative entry. Let's see. Come on, man. Okay, we still keep pushing down. So this could be a 1 minute entry right now. And for those trading the 1 minute, oh man, I forgot we can't go to the 1 minute. Let's see where we are. Where was that? Let me see. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, here we are. Like this, like this. Oh, actually, yeah. So we have to keep in mind this one. But let's see if we get an entry. So we have this one. Let's drop to the 5, maybe. And yeah, so this would be a structure that I wanted to see broken, but again, we didn't break it. So again, if we drop to the 3, do we have 3 here? On the 3, we break it. Okay. And what I also see is that we have beautiful equal lows right there. So can we take this trade? Absolutely. I think so. If you base it on the 3 minutes, on the 5 minutes, it's in a break, and there it comes that you just have to either take the trade or just skip it and just accept the risk. So again, we can take the trade from here, stop loss, keep it like this, and then profits to the upside. Potentially we can target Asia high again, which is right there, which makes sense for a nice 5-hour trade. Let's see how it plays out. Tag us in, having a little bit of a reaction, which is good to see. So there are buyers coming in from right there. Maybe we can secure break even, maybe, but yeah, I wouldn't say so. Okay, we can definitely look to secure break even right there. New OB was created here. So yeah, this is a little bit 50-50, but I know that it actually spiked to the downside later. So yeah, maybe a break even. I would say this is a break even, because if you didn't actually go break even on this move down, after this move up, I would go definitely break even. So let's say that this was a break even trade. So what we have to do right now is again adjust. So this is our new high. Right now the market broke structure to the downside. So we have to wait for the structure to shift. This is structure to the downside. So right now London session is over. So right now we have into New York session. Oh, that was a massive spike to the downside, and it's coming into that second OB. So again, we have to adjust. Where is our new structure right now? Well, it's this one, because this is an OB created with a huge push to the downside. So if I want to take a trade, I want to see at least this structure broken. So again, it wasn't broken. This is not a break for me. Although we have this beautiful OB down there, still it gets tricky because you have this big OB below. So is it going to get tapped? So you have to decide again, do I take this trade or do I wait? Let's see what happens. New York opens and smashes through that area and taps into the OB. And again, we have to adjust. So this is the thing when doing backtesting like that. It's a little bit tedious, but this is what you're going to do in live trading as well. So this is your new break of structure for potential entry. So let's see how the market develops. This could be your first aggressive entry, but I think this is not a trade to be taken because this OB is way too big and it's just tapping the OB. So you don't know if it's going to reverse from here. So definitely, let's see. Okay. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. This is what I want to see. So definitely I'm going to take that trade, but this is end of US session. Where is my OB? Well, I would say this one right there. Oops. The last bearish candle that was engulfed as well. No imbalance, which is not pretty great, but still we broke structure. Maybe consider with the 5 minute again. The 5 minute doesn't look bad. It hasn't broken structure. Maybe let's see one more 5. Oosh. Okay, let's see what we do right there. What is that, a gap? Okay. Yeah, okay, slightly tricky right there. I don't like those because I always keep saying to you guys, once you have the push, you would like to see the market slowly return back and maybe form some sort of liquidity, either trend line liquidity, either equal lows. When you have a break and very strong retest, it's a little bit scary, but let's take the trade because I think I like it. Press like this. Nice stop loss, a little bit lower, something like this. And then let's go for take profit. Maybe we can target the highs right there to potentially break London's highs. It's getting a little bit too late. So let's see. Okay, tagged in. Almost tagged us out as well. That's why I keep a little bit tighter stop loss. Because again, you can see we have perfect equal lows right there. So the market could definitely run below. So I was a little bit skeptical about that. Ow! All right. We got stopped out. But again, can we go break even right here? Well, it depends again. Personally, I'm definitely not sure because if this is an OB right here, have a look, the market created an OB, then we could definitely expect a retest. So let's say we took a loss right there. This was a break even. This is maybe a loss or a break even. And again, you can see a whole day we tried to take that long. It's not provided, bro. Okay, we have right now actually another break of structure. So again, the market faked below this beautiful triple bottom right there, and we formed a new OB, which is this. So we can definitely look for an entry right there. And again, you can see that we have that little low right there. That is really nice to see. So let's see if the market is going to reach it out. Okay. Oh man, it just went without us. Okay. Well, really, don't we get an entry here, man? Why? David, did I miss something, bro? I'm sad right now that I didn't get in that long. Federico is saying no. Let me see. Yeah, this is not a break. Then we break right there. Nah. Well, yeah, no trade for me on this one. And then again, guys, you go with the same process. So this is the reversal. So you actually have a break of structure on the hourly time frame right now. So again, we do the same. We wait for Asia. Here is Asia, actually pretty trending Asia. So again, then you drop to the 15-minute. Where can I take a trade from? Well, this can definitely be a type 1 entry, maybe to take it from here because the market is already breaking structure to the upside. Definitely, we can revisit that low, but we're already breaking. So London session is just opening. As you can see, we have those little bits of equal lows right there. Let me see, like this. Let's see if it spikes into that area. Oh, okay, it didn't spike. Well, the market just stopped in that area and just started to reverse, and this happens, okay? And yeah, I'm actually gonna wrap it up here. And guys, again, let me know. I think this would be pretty nice for you to use that indicator to just be aware of the timing of the markets, when you should be taking trades, wait for Asian session, analyze the Asian session, analyze your hourly OBs, and always keep in mind where you are on the 4-hourly time frame. So for example, right now we fulfill that OB. So but eventually we would expect the market to make new higher highs. Couldn't you get in the retest of 4HOB using the hourly? So this is our 4-hourly, right? The hourly, potentially, yes, you can refine it to this little candle right there. So are you saying that we just go long from here? Do we know?
No, bro, you had an OB above that. Remember you said the first OB you had?
Okay.
The first one, yeah. And there you had also refined it with the 1 hourly OB.
Yes.
I think the retest from the lower OB, you had a pretty good retest of that.
So this was the OB.
Yeah.
So do you speak about this one right there?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, could be, bro. Could be. I haven't worked with this like a retest of OB, so I'm definitely not sure about this one. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right, guys. I hope that was really clear. You have 2 backtesting approaches right now. This that I'm showing you right now is maybe when you get more, do as the vet told you so far. Just go in the charts, see how the market reacted, see how you can enter, and just make sure to journal it. Take notes about it. Do it in Notion. We have provided you with beautiful Notion templates, so do it there. And then you can start doing this process with this indicator. So sad you didn't go to your long, bro, but so happy to see you want to take a long as the market change your bias to take shorts. Yes, Federico, I was pissed as well that we didn't get that long, but it is what it is. Okay, guys, any final questions? Anything else to add? I hope everything is clear. Okay. Darius, you wanted to say something, bro. Come on, the floor is yours.
Oh, I was gonna say, so like if you ever have a structure that you need broken and it looks like it's like the momentum is shifting down into where you're trying to go, if it wicks through that structure instead of breaking it, do you ever go to like the lower time frames to like see if it broke it on the smaller one so that you can get an entry?
Yeah, very good question, bro, because we had this example right there. And again, I told you, you have to backtest this and you have to pick a time frame because you can have a wick on the 5-minute, but on the 1 minute, it's going to be a break for sure. So do you want to take the 1 minute entry? It could be slightly bit more aggressive. And I would advise if you're just starting out, then do 5 minutes, maximum 3 minutes. Because 1 minute, it gets pretty noisy. Your 1 minute OBs are not always going to be retested as well, right? Because you have a better 3-minute OB, for example. So yes, again, this is a question that you should find out for yourself. Personally, I would prefer to have a higher time frame break of structure. Well, not a higher time frame, but for example, a 3 or a 5 minute at least. And
yeah, so like let's say that I need the structure broken on the 15. if it does wick through it, I usually look at the 5 minute, and if the 5 minute doesn't show
Mhm.
me, then I don't really try to go for it, because I feel like you said, like the 1 minute is like really iffy.
Exactly. No, that is fine. That is fine because the 50-minute is higher, is a pretty high time frame actually. So on the 5 minute, a break on the 5 minute is perfect. Yes. So you can do that. Yeah. Yep. Will be nice to rewatch. Yes, of course, bro. I see you joined a little bit later. So I think we should wrap it up for today. And again, as always, if you have any questions, the chat is always on. Our DMs are always on. And yeah, let's see what tomorrow has for us. It's Monday, so probably we're just going to monitor to see how the market is going to set up. Because currently it's a little bit tricky to figure out. You see GU super extended, possibly revisiting all of those OBs. But if it starts to revisit those OBs, then it's going to turn bearish. So we definitely have to see what's going to happen. All
I
right.
think that concludes the 3-day fitness trading bootcamp.
Fitness trading bootcamp. Yes, I think so. Yes. And yeah, our job right now is to work on management criteria, just to even make it easier for you to know when to take profits, where to take profits as well. And yeah, then we're going to keep it with the webinars. But of course, we can do another bootcamp. Again, if questions start to arise, like a lot of common questions, then of course, we're going to do a bigger webinar, a bigger bootcamp to address. So yes. Ilya, on Mondays, we monitor everyone make massive trades without us. Oh, man, do we care? No, we don't.
Quick question.
Yeah.
These 4-hour OBs, I'm just looking at them now, it's quite a lot. Would you expect to retest all of them, or once it like breaks the first one, you'd be looking to sell to the next 3?
Yeah, exactly, bro. It depends. So if the market turns bearish, then I'm going to target those for TPs. I'm not going to really be looking to take a reversal from them. Because you can see what I've indicated. This is my 4-hourly low right now. This is actually a daily. Yeah, it's not really a daily, but this is a new leg to the upside that broke structure. So this is my higher low on the 4-hourly. So yeah, as long as the market pulls back right there, maybe taps inside, I'm going to look for longs. But if this structure is broken, then potentially we can start seeing some downside. So possibly those OBs could be potential profit taking and expecting a reaction, and maybe taking a little bit of a retracement trade. Yeah. Thanks, David and Leah. All 3 bootcamps were technically educational. My brain feels physically fit after the bootcamps. Great, Zubair. Really glad to hear. All right. Well, guys, I wish you an amazing evening or amazing day wherever you are, and talk to you in the chats, right?
Enjoy the sun.
Later.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
All right, guys. Cheers. Bye for now.